But I had on my 10 classics that I'd like to read for 2023. Excuse me, you're in my way. You make a better door than a window, Nola. Up to his regular old shenanigans, aren't you? Nola and I are here today. Hi everyone, it's me, Jess. I'm just here to... I like it when you film videos with me, but you're being too obnoxious. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Tone it down a little. Tone it down. Tone it down. Can you get me a toy? Where's your duck? Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Can you go get it? Can you go get it? Good boy. So I'm here to do a regular monthly TBR video, but I was a little hesitant to come on and do a TBR video because you found it. You're so smart. See, he's smarter than he looks. You're such a smart dog. Go get it. We're gonna play ball while I run through the list of books that I would like to read in March. As I was saying, I was a little hesitant to do this list I was a little hesitant to commit to a TBR that I was going to film because the long list for the Women's Prize is set to come out this week, and I wasn't sure if I would want to maybe add some of those titles or try to read some of those titles before the short list comes out in April. Honestly, it's not something that I've done in the past. I don't have the time to read 16 books, some of which might be longish, although some of them might be shortish. And I haven't done any kind of a prediction, although I've had so much fun watching other YouTubers' predictions videos. That's a really fun thing to do, and maybe I'll just drop a few YouTubers' Women's Prize prediction videos in the description box if you want to check them out. But I do have quite a number of books that I'm really looking forward to reading, some of which I just purchased in the last couple of months, talked about in my book haul that I just filmed. So I thought I would just go ahead and put together a small pile for March, and we'll see if I end up reading them all or if I end up reading a few or maybe swapping a couple of out for the Women's Prize. The first one I'm so excited to finally read. I've been talking about this book since it came out in hardcover. It's Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I really like Emily St. John Mandel. I remember reading Station 11 when it was first popular and loving it. I might even reread it, because it's been so long since I read that one. When I first started filming my YouTube videos, I read The Glass Hotel, which I think there might be a link between this book and The Glass Hotel, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe the characters are the same. I'm not entirely sure about that. I don't know too much about this book except that it travels in time. So the Glass Hotel also went back and forth in different time periods, and I think this one does. And I think this one also has either a time period or a setting in outer space. I'm pretty sure. Time travel, yeah. Sea of Tranquility is a novel of time travel and metaphysics that precisely captures the reality of our current moment. I just am a big fan of hers and have been really looking forward to reading this book. So I already started it. I walked into the bookstore and I saw that it was out in paperback and I was, yay, I'm so happy. I'm gonna pick it up and start reading it. So for sure, I think I'll be reading that this month. I also picked up and talked about in my book called Vladimir, which I just got very excited about and thought that potentially it could be on the long list for the Women's Prize. It might not be. I don't know. Maybe that's just a long shot. I haven't really been following the prize for very long, and I don't think that I have very good insight necessarily into what they might choose, but it'd be exciting if it was on the list. Regardless, I'm going to read it. It's the story of a woman who's an academic who I think she becomes obsessed with an author, and her husband is kind of caught up in this scandal at the university where I think maybe they both work at the same university, and he's caught up in a scandal having to do with not even just extramarital pursuits. I think there's some accusations against him potentially by former students. Yeah, inappropriate relationships with his former students. But I think it's told mostly from her perspective, and I don't know. I haven't seen that many people talking about it. I hope I'm not getting myself into something that I'm going to regret by reading this book. But it seemed like it might be kind of, I don't know, I thought it would be good. I thought it would be interesting. It might have a different take on some of the topics that it's exploring. And it's a debut. It's a dark, funny, and perfectly timed for our contemporary moment. So perhaps it will be good. And warm today. The sun is coming in. We're expecting a massive snowstorm for tomorrow. Even with the snow, it's a lot sunnier, a lot less gloomy, not quite minus 40 anymore. Another book that I picked up recently in my book haul is All's Well by Mona Awad, which I've been dying to get to. So I'm also going to try to read that this month. I'm not expecting this to be on the Women's Prize long list. I don't even know if it was published in the right time frame. I think it's probably, no, because it was in 2021. It's a year or two old, so of course it won't be. It's by Mona Awad, who I've read both of her other books, Bunny and 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. It's about a woman who's putting on a production of All's Well That Ends Well by Shakespeare. It says she faces a mutinous cast hell-bent on staging Macbeth instead. The character's name is Miranda. Anyway, I think she is also dealing with, I don't know if it's the aftermath of an accident or if it's like a degenerative illness, but she's dealing with some kind of chronic pain as well at the same time. So I wouldn't say that I'm intrigued necessarily about the topic itself, but because I love Mona Awad as a writer, I really want to read it. And I was a bit hesitant because I'd seen some negative things. So Monica from Dog-Eared Musings had commented when I did my book haul that she really liked All's Well. That kind of pushed up my TBR, I have to say. So thanks, Monica, for commenting. And it's on my TBR for March. I'm kind of excited. I'm glad that somebody really liked it because I was kind of sad that people were saying that it wasn't very good because I was so excited about Mona Awad's writing. I'm sure it'll be different from Bunny. I'm not expecting it to be the same thing, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I also wanted to get into another book by another Canadian writer. I've been reading at least one Canadian writer every month. So I wanted to keep up that habit, I guess. It was not one of my goals at the beginning of the year, but it's a habit that I seem to have fallen into. So I'm going to add this one to my TBR. Look at the beautiful cover. It's called The Book of Wings by Tawhida, Tania, Evanson. I hope I've said that correctly. And she's a Canadian writer. I don't actually know what this is about. I don't know if this is autobiographical. It sort of sounds like it is. But it's about an artist who travels to the Caribbean, France, and Morocco as she is experiencing the disintegration of her relationship with her partner. So that sounds like it'll be intense and interesting. But it's not a very long book, and I'd heard some really good things about it. So I wanted to add it to my TBR for this month. Hopefully it's good. I think it's about self-discovery. Like I think that's sort of the theme of the book, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below if anybody has read this or come across it. And then I wanted to add a classic to my TBR for this month, and I might be being too ambitious again. I tend to be ambitious with these TBRs and I don't get them all read. You make a better door than a window, bud. He really wants to be in the video, let's face it. So I wanted to read one of the classics that is on my TBR for 2023, and I've just been wanting to read this Love in a Cold Climate by Nancy Mitford. So I've added it. We're already March, so I thought, oh, I better get going on my list of classics. So I've added it to my TBR for this month, and I'm hoping that I'll get to it. I know it's not the first in this series. I think it's a series where The Pursuit of Love is the first one, but I think it's okay if I don't read it as in sequence. This is going to be kind of, you know, funny and sort of ridiculous characters and mismatched people and, you know, the upper crust and their soirees. Polly Hampton with her startling good looks and excellent social connections. It sounds like it'll be a fun time to me. So yes, very much looking forward to that. And I love the beautiful cover. This is one that I picked up when I was in the UK. Well, that's my little pile of books. And I know I'm going to be finishing off the Book of Form and Emptiness, which I'm almost finished. I'm still reading a couple of other books. I did not get to The Break, which I unwrapped last month. And I wondered if I should... what I should do about that. But I thought, you know what? To hell with it. I'm just going to pull another book and unwrap it because it's fun to unwrap it on camera. So I didn't get to The Break. I don't know if I'm going to get to it or not. Probably not. It's probably going to end up getting moved. It's such a shame. But I know I will get to it eventually. But this is what I'm looking forward to for this month. And I pulled number 14 from the wrapped. I know it seems silly that I'm unwrapping another one, but this is just for the fun of it. Let's see how we do. Oh, fun. This is great. Yeah, so this is, I think also after having read Five Little Indians, I kind of just wanted to read something maybe that wasn't so trauma heavy, if you know what I mean. So I thought I would just put The Break aside. So this is Memorial by Bryan Washington. This I'd been wanting to read for, I've been wanting to read it since Pride last year and just never got to it. So this is the story of a couple and they come from different ethnic backgrounds. So Mike is a Japanese American chef of a Mexican restaurant. He's eating the wrapping paper now. And Benson is a black daycare teacher. And I think it has to do with found family and relationships and being in a minority and being gay. I think it's going to be really good. I haven't actually heard that many people talk about it, to be honest with you. Probably many people that I know have already read it, but I just don't recall people talking about it. So, yay! That'll be good if I get to it. All right, Nola, are we going to say goodbye for now? Are you going to sign off with me? So yeah, that's it for me. Short little video with my TBR, which might change when I see the long list for the Women's Prize. The whole point of having a TBR is to read some of the books, but not all of the books, and then switch the books, and then surprise! You read something else that month, actually. Somebody wants to wrestle. I better sign off. Hesitated to film this video today. Straighten my head up here. I hesitated to film this. Oh, that's going to be very noisy. That is going to be a very noisy toy. Could we maybe get a different one? Because that one's really noisy. It's like this massive water bottle. Hello? 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 Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, don't you go here. Hi. Oh, you're a beast. You're such a big beast. You're such a big beast.